Things that I noticed immediately was Career Clothes Closet really needs some TLC. So this semester, one of our career peers, which is a student employee who works in career services, has taken over kind of inventory right now. So we don't have a streamlined process for how students check in. So I said, okay, well, in the fall semester of 2025, we will launch some kind of check-in that's a little bit more useful for using Career Clothes Closet or Headshot Room, or generally coming to headquarters, because the check-in is basically like show up and somebody greets you if we're available. Mm-hmm. So I kind of want to address that a little bit to make our tracking more efficient and more useful for the office. But for Career Clothes Closet, that's really kind of one of the pressing needs right now. And so we have a career peer who's going through our inventory currently to understand what we actually have, where the gaps are in terms of sizes, styles, etc. Because it's a completely donation-based place. So we cannot truly provide clothes to every single student on campus because we just don't have that kind of donation set up. And you know, to be fair, we also can't guarantee that someone's going to come in and find their size or style, but we want to try. And so right now, once we get the inventory assessed, then we'll be able to go purchase more items and then store other items so that we can kind of rotate them. However, because I said there's not really a great tracking system right now, students really just sign in and say that they're using Career Clothes Closet or Headshot Room, and then sign out. It's really not my favorite thing, and we're supposed to be tracking who gets an outfit because every student gets one outfit per semester. And so in terms of efficiency and productivity and all of those kinds of things, you know, we don't really even have a way to say, yep, they got their outfit. Now we do enter into our handshake database that a student came in and what they came in for, and we make notes, but we're not going back and like really checking that right now. And I feel like it could become a problem and a disservice to students who come here and they're saying, oh, well, my friend got 2 outfits. Now that hasn't happened yet. And students do often bring their items back. I don't know why. And, you know, so, but then we don't know who they are or why they brought it back. And then also students come in and just leave like piles of clothes on the ground, or just like throw them back on the racks. And we're like, well, who did that? So we could be like, hey, like, if you're going to use Career Clothes Closet, like, you need to be respectful of the items. So, you know, there are a lot of concerns that I have noticed, and I want to address them. So when I heard about this, I thought, oh, well, great. Like, if they can make some kind of, what I wanted to do was take pictures of each item, put them up on a website so that students can see the items that we have, and then make it where students could, you know, like check them out, and then they would be gone from there, you know, like online shopping. So we're at the first phase of it, but we really don't have the skill set, I don't think, to like set up the next phase. So that was something that I was really excited to hear maybe could happen, but I'm not sure. So that's kind of where I'm at. Okay. And I'll open it up to y'all.
So let me ask you this. How do you go about collecting items?
Yeah, so in the fall semester, Career Services sent out an email to the campus community, faculty and staff, and requested donations. And from there, we had people bringing those items in. And basically what they do is they just say, hey, here are some items. And then we say, thank you so much. If we don't catch a person, sometimes they just hang them on the outside of the door, and you know, then they'll say, oh, like they might leave a note or send an email. Then we send an email thanking them. But there's really no formality to that process either.
Okay. So, and then how much, well, I'll let you ask questions first.
Do you have, sorry, you go.
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so you don't have any kind of tracking whatsoever, not even like an Excel, like file or anything like that?
The CPs might enter it into an Excel, but where we house it is Handshake. So that's where we track that students come in to use career services. They have an appointment, they have a session, anything like that.
Because my first thing would be maybe like,
This is Alex.
putting it all into Excel, maybe creating like an ID for each of the things. And then you can go import that stuff on Power BI and visualize it, so you can see like, oh, you know, this many people check out at this time, and it's a lot easier to like see.
Oh, you know how to use Power BI?
Yeah.
I need a training on that. I'm trying to figure out how to use Power Automate.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm doing a lot of things that are just for other processes, but if you know how to use Power BI.
There's a really easy course you could do on Coursera. It's like 3 hours, if that. And it's like just the fundamentals. I think it's called From Excel to Power BI. Like I took that one first, and I've like done more stuff since. But that's like the pretty good fundamental like overview of the platform.
Okay, that's awesome.
Questions?
But so I want to also address, so the other part of what you're asking for is you're asking for us to be able to create something quickly.
Yeah.
And I don't have, I have other responsibilities that are way higher priority.
Okay.
And our career peers only work, they might collectively work 20 hours a week,
Okay.
maybe. And so that's the other part. And when they're here, they're also doing other things that are higher priority. So for us, it has been challenging to be like, how can we efficiently and quickly do this? And the answer is like, you can do it either quickly or efficiently, and until like maybe summer break.
Yeah, I think there'd be like an upfront time cost where you'd have to like sink a couple hours into like cataloging everything. But once you have it, you could very easily sort through, you know, like I said, if you make the IDs, you'd be like, okay, like all jackets like J and then J001, whatever. So that way you could easily sort, be like, okay, we have this many jackets in this size. And it would be like, obviously it would cost more time up front, but then it would be much more efficient in time later.
We will come up with different ideas, and that will be kind of your job to do. So right now, what we want to is just learn more about the process or no process. And just I have a question in terms of, you said some people will come and return them. So have you considered just doing, since you don't have apparently enough, you have more demand than supply, right? Like you cannot cover or not necessarily?
Kind of. Sometimes students come in and they're like, oh, there's nothing that fits me.
Okay.
And you're like, is there really nothing? Like, I can go back there with you. Like, are you sure? Or they're like, oh, well, I just don't like anything. And those are two different concerns that would be nice to address, but at the end of the day, like, this is a free service that is an option for students, not something that we have to provide to students.
No, I understand, but what I'm thinking is, I would imagine there will be popular items for guys or for gals. Have you considered just renting them, like letting them borrow them for a week, and then for those popular items, if any, or popular sizes could be as well?
So we have thought about that, but again, without having a real tracking system, that's not currently an option. And also, you know, I'm one person in this big model, and I'm not the person who established it. So I don't know if there's a purpose to why we don't let borrowing happen, but borrowing has been happening.
Okay.
And so I think that it's okay if it does, but you know, our mission is to ensure that a student has something that they can use for a while at least, because theoretically someone would be interviewing multiple times at different companies, you know, or you know, doing presentations and needing business attire. So it would be nice, and that's the goal, for them to have something that they can keep.
When you say that you don't know the next step of the process, how much of that process, like, have you gotten done? Have you, like, just taken pictures of them? Or-
No, so it's not that I don't know, it's that we just haven't done it yet. Yeah, so what I just did was I ordered organizing materials for making the career clothes closet a little bit better strategically, hopefully for when people come in. We have a very small space, so we can't, there are limitations. We are just trying to catalog how much we have and what are the sizes that we have, so we can figure out what we need to put away, what items maybe have been sitting there for a long time that we can just donate, and then what items I need to go and shop for. So, yeah, but in terms of like taking photos of them, we have not done that yet because we're trying to get to a place where we're like, okay, we feel solid about these are the main items we want to display. Now we do also, coming back to your point earlier about borrowing, we do have items that students cannot take out of career services. So if they wanted to use them only for a headshot, they could put them on for a headshot and those are tagged, but I shared concern with other staff members that we really need to
clean them.
monitor that because just because the hanger is tagged doesn't mean somebody could not just take that item and put it on a different hanger. And so I said, well, can we tag them differently? But at the time that was established, I was just kind of like hands off with it. So there could also be a better system for items that cannot leave. And we also have items that we store for another area that can't be used at all, but have to hang in there.
Okay.
How do you differentiate? You said like a thing on the.
There's a tag on the
Just a
hangers.
tag, okay.
Somebody put on there.
On the hanger.
Are all the clothes kept in one same location?
Yes, and I have tried to make a stand to move them.
Is that in the same location as the headshot room?
No.
You should be right
So,
there.
Yeah, I can show you.
The,
Yeah,
the thing is, why don't we just separate?
I have already made that case.
And what did they say?
There was a denial of that option.
Yeah, but we can recommend whatever we want to.
You can make whatever
Those are-
recommendations you
yeah.
like. Maybe your recommendation will be heard.
And then as a collective,
Well, I can't see how it would make sense to.
You don't have to see how it can make sense. My brain doesn't make it make sense sometimes either. Just because it's logical doesn't mean that it is the thing that's going to happen sometimes in the workplace.
What is y'all's sign-in method again? Like, how do you guys check things in and out again? Can you repeat that?
There's a paper,
Okay.
and students go and sign the paper, and they say what they're here for, headshot room or career clothes closet. And then we ask them when they are done using whatever to sign out. And if they do take items from clothes closet, we try to make a note that they took items.
Do you guys?
And then they input that either.
so we
They
can-
might do both in Excel and Handshake, but I know that it goes into Handshake, which is our database for career services.
Do you guys use their student ID numbers at all, or?
Yes. I believe so. I say yes, but I could be wrong. I did have a career peer create a like QR code for checking in. We just have not implemented it yet because I'm new in this office and I have to figure out the vibe with that. But it is something that I plan to launch in the fall. In my previous offices, I did have that for everything. Sign in, sign out, like what the heck are you doing? What are you gonna name your firstborn child? Like everything. I need to know it all.
That's a good idea.
Now, you said that there was a QR code created by your student.
Yeah, we have like a little check-in, check-out survey. We just haven't launched it yet.
What is the tag that is on the hanger?
I will show you all.
we'll go on. Let's go ahead and take a look.